Hello, hello everyone. Hello, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Opulence Nation. Welcome to this call. My name is Hervé, and it's my pleasure to be your host tonight. So, welcome very much to be, and congratulations for being on this call. And I will tell you a bit about Rene before we start. Rene Liao entrepreneurial journey began in 2007 when he joined Opulence Global as a side hustle. With exceptional determination, he quickly doubled, that's impressive, his annual income of 8,000 within just 16 months. Wow. Leading him to leave his IT job at a major Canadian telecommunication company. In fact, that was in Toronto, right? What followed was truly extraordinary, as Rene achieved a remarkable monthly income of 100,000 with more than 7,000 individuals in his organization. Today, his team has grown to over 80,000 individuals, wow, across 130 countries since then. As one of the Opulence top earners and the youngest millionaire made by Opulence, Rene enjoy a substantial five-figure weekly income. Wow, that's amazing. Five-figure every week. Wow, that's amazing. That's how much people can make money in the Opulence business. So, and he has like I was saying, 7,000. He's one of the top earner. Rene enjoys a substantial five-figure income, like I was saying, weekly income, and proudly drives a Tesla P90D. Wow, what a beautiful car! Provided by the Opulence Car Club. As a dedicated family man, he cherishes traveling the world with his family. And I remember seeing some pictures he has shared first class with his family. This is so cool. In traveling, I think was you guys were going to Singapore. I saw the picture you shared recently. Rene invested in a magnificent custom built $5 million home. Wow, that's amazing. That's impressive. Wow. With his professional dedication and exceptional leadership, Rene is also a uh, founding Opulence member, shareholder also, and valued advisory board member of Opulence CEO, global CEO Ramin Mesgalo. He has been twice honored with the prestigious President Awards Cup. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please, 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 please help me in giving a very welcome to our speaker tonight, Rene Liao. Rene, the floor is yours, and we will open our ears widely to listen, to learn from you, so we can one day have a house of $5 million like you.
Absolutely.
Rene, the
If I
floor
can
is
do
yours.
it,
Yeah.
truly and really everyone can. And of course, Hervé, thank you so much for being always our wonderful host of the week. And of course, thank you so much for your kind words. Really appreciate you. And of course, I appreciate your consistency. I just want to sort of really recognize you because went to Ottawa and you show up for the boot camps and the tours. I'm in Toronto for the event and you also show up in Toronto. So hats off to you. And I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to have amazing success, of course, in the future as well too. For everyone else, again, a very good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Great to be here this evening. Of course, as you know, our CEO is still traveling through his Asia travels. He had already finished off with Laos, Thailand. He had just left Singapore a few days ago, and he's currently, I believe, in the Philippines. They already had some massive events in the Philippines, and I think he should be coming back sometime soon. But of course, for this evening here, I had the pleasure of course, yet again, to share with you all just some amazing training that had really helped me to have my success. So, first of all, I just want to say good evening, good morning again. And I thought today's topic, I could talk about a little bit about the event that myself, Dr. Henry, as well as one of our partners, Denya, went to actually I think it was last Wednesday or Thursday, which was this women's networking luncheon. It was right around the International Women's Day. And my question for you this evening is, how many of you would like to learn of a way to generate massive sales and massive contacts? So raise your hands here. Who would like, of course, to learn of some ways where you can generate some incredible contacts, get incredible sales, and of course also get a lot of great follow-up for the future. And so I think, of course, everyone here should want that, right? And of course, what I'm talking about is what I went to, of course, last week. Thank you guys. I love your comments in the group chat. Thank you, Larry and Maria and Jocelyn, all you guys for, of course, putting in your messages. I love our trainings to be much more interactive. Because when you do engage in the group chat, I do find that, of course, you will absorb things a lot more. And so I want to share with you guys really quickly just some of the photos of the event that I was at. And typically, especially when I first got started, I was trying to do these events at least once a week or once every 2 weeks. And these are just having little booths or pop-up booths, anywhere around town. All right. So here's myself, of course, with Denya, one of our incredible leaders here in Toronto. I believe she's actually pretty quick to reaching LD1. So hats off to her. And maybe later on we can get her to share because it was actually her first time experience. She was initially going to become a participant in the actual event, but when I found out that she was going to attend the event, I said, "Why don't you just join us at the booth and try to help us, of course, share all of the incredible products that we have." And she did also get some sales as well too. And so here's just us, sort of getting ready and setting up. Before the event started, I had a big little buggy full of our supplies there. And of course, this is actually the event that we were at. This is actually at the Hilton at the Highway 7 in Warden, where we actually had, guess what? We actually had our forensic networker event there in the same room, actually, just literally about 2 weeks ago, the forensic networker seminar. And so here are all of the vendor tables. And what happened was, if you notice, here's one quick tip for you, by the way. If you ever do these kind of events, which you really should because it's just so much fun, go with a friend. Our booth was constantly being talked to by, like, we didn't really have a chance to have a break. There's times where there's so many people around us that we didn't have enough people to talk to everybody. So some people kind of walked by, glanced, and kind of carried on. That's how busy it was for us. And that's because we have such amazing, of course, products in our company. And there's a few other people selling, some snacks and some, sort of food, and there's a few, jewelry and sort of accessory companies. But if you notice one little thing here, what do you notice about in this picture? What do you notice about everyone's banner? Okay, just a quick answer here. What do you notice about everyone's banner? If you are actually looking at my screen, I hope you guys can see my screen. But tell me, guys, what do you guys notice? If you can notice something about all these banners, like here, 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 here. What do you guys notice about the banners? Let me see if anyone can spot out what I'm talking about here. Okay, I'm not getting any messages here in the chat box. I think I'm confusing people, maybe. Okay, so there we go. Backwards, yeah. Okay, it displays. Okay, it's a little small. Okay, any other thoughts about what is common? Okay, Mavis is catching on a little bit here. Mavis says the banners are at the back. Okay, so actually, let me tell you where our banner is. So again, by the way, initially there was no more space in this event, but because I messaged the organizer of the Markham Board of Trade, they actually rearranged the tables to squeeze me in. So Here's, by the way, my banner. If you can't really notice it, but if you look at my banner, you'll see that my banner is actually over here. Now, can you guess what's going on over here? Like, what's the difference between my banner and the other banners? Well, um, I'll just get right to the point here. The other banners are all sitting on the floor. Okay, they're sitting on the floor, right? They're all of them. They're on the floor. Can you guess where is my banner? Is it on the floor? What do you guys think here? So my banner is actually on a chair. So one quick tip for you guys, if you ever do yourself a trade show, putting a banner, okay, on the floor is one thing, but what you want to do is, I had a banner that a chair that's sitting against the wall. We actually propped up the banner, and what happens is when people are walking by, because your banner sticks out much higher than everyone else's banner, naturally what happens for people is they look at what's the highest. So you go to like a city and you look at the highest skyrise tower, right? Like, ooh, it's the so something about whatever is higher up and taller, definitely okay, is going to have instantly more attractions. People are walking by and they're doing like they're looking up, like, oh, and of course looking at the banner that I used for that day was the Fountain of Life banner that shows how 10 drops is equivalent to all those things. And so that's one quick tip for you guys if you ever have the actual show. Now, just to fast forward here a little bit, this was actually the luncheon part during lunch part, and you can kind of network with different people. But so here's actually our booth. So you can see here, I put the banner pretty much at the same height of the chair. Now, I didn't want to put it actually in the middle or in the front, but unfortunately, it was going to get in the way of our neighbors, so I didn't want to be rude. And the other key thing that we had here was actually a laptop. If I zoom, I can't zoom in here, but I'm actually showing different testimonials, okay, of the Fountain of Life. And what was really funny was I had someone actually beside me, another booth vendor, actually our neighbors, and because they're just sometimes they had no one at their booth, they kept staring at the testimonials that were flashing on my laptop. And what happened was they got actually intrigued about, okay, well, what, and so eventually when I always go around and say hi to our neighbors, which are the other vendors who are having a booth there. And when I said hi to her, she was working for a company that does like cycling lessons, whatever it is, like indoor those cycles things, like bikes. And anyway, she says to me, "Well, you know what? I've been watching your slideshows the whole entire time, and I've got to talk to you." All right, and so that's really, really what's really important here is that you have the testimonials again flashing, of course, on your actual screen. And she ended up, of course, buying I think I sold close to about 10 bottles myself. And we were only there. So the actual shopping and the networking part was from 10:30 a.m. Till 12 p.m. Then there's lunch from 12 to like 1, whatever, and then tidy up. So really, in an hour and a half, I sold about 10 bottles. I think Henry sold probably about maybe about the same or maybe a bit less than me. And of course, Daniel also sold, I think, a few bottles too. So um, again, these events are fantastic. Now, of course, what we always do whenever, of course, we have these events is you want to make sure you have the brochure. Now, how many of you want to know how do I talk to people at these events? How many of you are curious to know, what's Renee saying to start selling bottles like that? Or what's he talking about? How does he go and, talk to someone who's walking by? Are any of you guys curious as to what I'm saying to people? Okay, awesome. That's very cool. Um, and actually, maybe even later on, I can share with you guys. I think Brian Arundel might be on call with me. He actually went with me to another event, And same thing, we're sitting down having dinner. I sold like I think 4 bottles just having dinner with people. So if you're really curious to know how I do it, well, here are a few of the tips here. So typically when I'm here, um, this might sound kind of funny to you, but the first thing you want to do to get ready for these kind of shows, aside from the physical setup, right? So I assume that, I'll tell you guys for sure that you will have the right banners, you're going to have the products, you're going to have the testimonials. Um, One thing that I didn't have time to do was in the past, I actually printed out, okay, all of the testimonials, by the way, that are running in this laptop, and I would make a big giant board behind me and just hang it up there, or literally tape it up against the wall. Because what would happen now is people are walking by are seeing like there's hair photos, there's like eczema photos, and now it's so visual. Because of course they can see a little bit through the laptop. So either you can have like, but again, the best way to have a big giant, billboard behind you with a bunch of testimonials taped up behind you. Okay, so I hope that hopefully that makes sense too. But the first thing you want to do, and it might sound funny, is look in the mirror and practice, okay, your welcoming smile. Okay. Um, because it's funny, I've been doing it for so long, and sometimes I look at other vendors and I look at their face, and they don't really have a welcoming kind of look on their face, So just make sure that, some people, like, I don't know, like I know some people in my family life that just typically, when they're calm and they're not trying to make a face, their natural face looks almost angry. Okay, so if so you want to look at your face in the mirror and just practice like your welcoming face, and mine looks like this. Just a no, not I'm not smiling like team, just a nice little smile, just a smile with okay, and that's my welcoming smile. So of course, whenever someone walks by, the easiest thing I do is I say good morning, right? Just be polite, good morning or good afternoon, right? And of course, they will always respond what? If you say good morning to somebody, or you say good afternoon or good evening to someone, what will they usually say in return? They will say, yeah, good morning to you as well, right? And so what I'm going to teach you is pretty much what I've been teaching for the last 7 years since Fountain of Life came out, and it's what I always do. And once I say good morning and they say good morning, um, you know, you have to now gauge if they stop and they're looking at your information. That's different than someone who's walking. You say good morning and they're still trying to walk. Does that make sense, first of all? The two things that I just said. Does everyone, can you write to me what do you think is the difference between the people who kind of walk, stop, and they're looking at you like straight on versus someone who's walking like aside, you say good morning, I say good morning, and I look like I'm still going to walk. What's the difference between those two situations? Hmm. And this matters. This matters in what I'm going to teach you today. Okay. So I think you guys obviously get it. The people who stopped and are looking at you straight on, like shoulders facing you, head facing you, they're actually looking for information or they're interested. Okay. So obviously, I'm going to talk to them a little bit different than the person who is walking by because the person who's walking by, my goal again is to get them to kind of stop and then turn and want to continue the conversation. So, in the situation where someone's kind of walking by and they're kind of like maybe not fully interested, maybe they're trying to go somewhere else and not really sure, should I stop here or should I go to the next booth, right? What I do because I know that they're actually on their way out, is I would just say, oh, by the way, good morning, good morning. Oh, by the way, can I just give you this really quickly? Can I just give you this? I hope you can write that down because I use that like almost every day. Okay, if I'm at a Tim Hortons, coffee shop, Starbucks, anywhere I pass by where I am going to see someone and buy something or get service, after I get the service, let's say from the cashier, thank you so much. Oh, by the way, can I give you this? I'm gonna type it out because this is the secret that I use. Okay, um, there. By the way, can I give you? By the way, can I give you this? And what do you think people usually say? Because I said good morning and I was being polite, and they said good morning, and then I said, well, by the way, can I just give you this? What do you think people do usually? They say yes. They say yes. And now, when they say yes, instead of walking this way away from me, because now I'm reaching out with a brochure, they're going to now what? They're going to turn their way to me, and now I have them face to face, right? And to be honest with you, it is possible they might say no, thank you, but I have never this whole I had almost actually I have never had someone say no because I have that welcoming smile. I say good morning, right? Oh, how are you? Oh, and by the way, can I just give you this? And so for me, till now, I always get a yes. Maybe I don't know, maybe a no's coming. I don't know, but so far it's going pretty well. I get a yes. Now, now today I'm going to focus on this brochure here. So, what do you think happens once I put this into their hands? What do you think happens next? Because I want to really zone in on this because it's going to make your life so much easier. Trust me. Yeah, they're going to be like, they're going to be looking at it and, maybe they're trying to read it or something like that. Or they might just ask you, oh, yeah, well, what is it? Right. And can I tell you guys how I do my sort of 20-second spiel on this? 20-second spiel? Who wants to hear Renee explain how I use this baby? Okay, it's actually real simple. So, one secret in sales is curiosity is the key. Like, curiosity is your best friend. The more curiosity you can create, the more, like when you're going fishing, right? And you throw a line out, right? The more curiosity you have, the easier it is to wind that wheel, right? To attract them to you. So the first question I asked them is I asked them, well, by the way, have you heard of the word lignins before? Ah, because if you were to say something like, "Do you know what antioxidants are?" Probably everyone's already heard about it, so they might not think it's special, right? So I love even when I cold called Henry Schoen, right, our doctor, Dr. Henry. After I said hi, my name is Renee. Are you the owner? Okay, what's your name? Henry Schoen. Okay, nice to meet you. I'm here to represent blah blah blah. I said, have you heard of what's called lignins? So that's the second part that you want to write this down. Have you heard of something called what? Lignins. All right. And of course, literally, they say, well, no, right? Because people mostly have not heard of lignins before. So I turned to the page and I asked them, have you heard of something called lignins before? And they're like, well, no. I say, well, actually, what's funny is that you eat it on a daily basis. Lignins are the plant antioxidants found in all of your fruits, vegetables, seeds, coffee, tea, wine, beer, juice, da 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 da. Okay. But what's really cool is that our company had a scientist in Finland who was cutting down this Norwegian spruce tree. And what happened was the broken branch on the floor kept on living days and months later, and weeks and months later. In fact, he grabbed one, put it into his freezer, forgot about it. Years later, grabbed back out that broken branch, and he realized that the broken branch had grown itself a new layer where it was cut off, and it was still alive. So years of finding a way to extract the lignins from this Norwegian spruce tree, and like 25 patents later, is now this drop you can put under your tongue. And check this out. Taking 10 drops of this product, okay, 10 drops of product is equivalent to having 1,800 cups of apples or 50 cups of green tea. Now, I'm going to pause here. Can you hear what's going on in my tone? What do you hear in my tone right now? Can anyone guess? Can anyone hear the way I'm talking about this stuff? Are you guys still here? Can you guys still hear me? Right? Okay, confidence. Yeah, you have to be confident in your product. You gotta practice this till it's super confident. What else do you hear? Yeah, I'm talking slowly. Very good, Rebecca, because you know I have a tendency to rap. Okay. And yeah, thank you, gentle. Don't be pushy, right? Just let it flow, let it flow. But also, I could have said the same thing like this. Have you heard of lignans before? Okay, well, lignans basically they're in all your fruits and vegetables that you eat, and all your coffee, wine, beer, juice. And our scientists in Finland found a way to extract it from this Norwegian spruce tree, and it kept on living. Yeah, thank you. Enthusiasm. So you must be very enthusiastic. And honest to goodness, it's so easy to be enthusiastic about all of our products, right? So again, once I got to telling them that the 10 drops was equivalent to having 1,800 cups of apples or 50 cups of green tea or that many cups of oatmeal, I said, what's even more remarkable is we have so many scientific studies on how this product helps with the following. And I start reading it. I tell them this helps with, protecting your heart health, to reducing breast cancer risk. These are all actual scientific studies, by the way, impacting menopausal symptoms, protecting your DNA, especially during COVID times, right? Defending against dementia, Alzheimer's disease, autism, protecting your prostate health and stop peeing at nighttime, improving your hair health, um, to, controlling the diabetes complications, to really helping with the gut-brain axis and really helping with the brain things, to lowering your body weight. It's also great for, for fatty liver, for blood cholesterol, for body weight decreasing, your insulin secretion. Also can really, is an immune system booster, can regulate your immune system, improve your fat metabolism. It's anti-inflammatory, decrease colon cancer risk, and I'm gonna pause again here because by the time I get through maybe even half of these studies, the person is like, wow. The person's like, wow, right? But in sales, you want to make things personal. You want to connect with the person. Question for you. What do you think I would ask them next to try to connect this on a personal level with them? What do you think I would ask next? Any guesses here? How could I make this more personal? Any guesses here, guys? What question might I ask next? Are people still thinking? Okay, I'll give it a few more seconds in case something pops up over here too. Okay, do you know anyone who okay, I think Ifra's onto it. Aha, aha. Thank you. I think you guys are all on it because usually by thank you. I think you guys got it now. Because typically before I even finish getting to the end of all these different benefits, what happens is that people have either pointed out, oh, it helps with autism or helps with dementia. I know that's what to focus on, right? I know what to focus on. However, if they're just kind of going through it, like they're being amazed by it, I would even ask them, are there any particular health issues that you're trying to deal with? Are there any, are there any particular, okay, health issues that you or someone you know is dealing with? Ah, you see how from the person who was initially just walking by, and then I said good morning, good afternoon, and then I said, can I give you this? They turned to me. Now, like we went from someone who was probably not even going to pay attention to anything. We've turned that all the way around. Now we're really engaging this, and to make it more personal, I asked them, is there any thing in particular that health wise that you or someone that you know is trying to deal with, health issue wise, right? And from then on in, it pretty much, you've got them mostly, in the conversation, right? So there's never ever any particular order of, you have to kind of know how to go with the flow, if that makes sense, right? Okay. But in general, this is what I just went through is how I start off 100% of my conversations with people who are walking by. Okay, it comes down to, can I give you this? And have you heard of something called lignans before? And they're like, well, no, what is it? So, well, actually, lignans are something that you eat on a daily basis. They're in all of your vegetables, all of your fruits, all of your seeds, your coffee, tea, wine, beer, orange juice, apple juice. However, our scientist actually in Finland was cutting down this tree. And what's amazing is that after he cut the branches off, the broken branches on the floor kept on living weeks and months later. And so he actually put one into his freezer and forgot about it. Years later, took it back out and realized that the broken part of the branch had grown back a new layer and was still alive. So he investigated this tree, found a way to extract the lignans, and this tree has the world's most potent source of lignans in nature. 25 patents later, just placing 10 drops of this under your tongue is equivalent to like 1,800 cups of apples or 50 cups of green tea. And I've never seen a product that pretty much does everything you can think of in your health wise. Look at all these scientific studies, and again, that's the same thing I do over and over and over again. But now, okay, because what might happen, as I just talked about, is you might get involved in one particular, um, one particular, for example, a health topic. Maybe you want to start showing more testimonials. That's why the laptop is there, because I can flip through different testimonials to show them more. On my phone I have testimonials. Henry's phone, he has testimonials, right? I think Dania also has testimonials on her phone. So we're always on standby to search our phone and show different kinds of testimonials that we have in our photo albums, right? So and this is why if you have not been to one of our boot camps, you really have to come, because if you don't even have on your phone different albums, because you want to have an album, by the way, for Fountain of Life and different health issues. You want to have an album when Arctic Vita Collagen comes out, another album for Divine, right? But you can see here, I have 101 different albums on my phone, and the search word I put in was FOL. So you can see here, like if I go to show all, These are all the different categories of testimonials that I have stored onto my phone. And these are easy to grab. Go to Facebook, the Fountain of Life official Divine and Fountain of Life page, and just start screen capturing these testimonials, right? And I literally have, almost everything in here. All right. So, so that's really important is having the testimonials ready to go either on your phone or on your laptop, of course, too. Now, sometimes, of course, I'm going to give you a few more tips on how to keep on with the discussion. Okay. You can talk about the studies. You can talk about the testimonials. Um, Another great way to continue the conversation to really I hate to use the word sell them on it, but to really have them see the full power of this. What else do you think we can do? Now, if you look carefully on this table, oh, is this before or after? Is there another photo here? Okay, yeah, here's Henry. What do you think Henry is doing right now? If you look at the table, okay, let's see if I can play it again. He's putting water down. He has a glass of water over there. He has FOL, and he has this little really dark bottle. Any guesses what Henry is doing? Hint, he's doing a demonstration. Thank you, Charlene. On the ball. Yeah. There's two things more that you must do if you haven't already sold a bottle by now. One thing is to do the iodine test. And the iodine test simply is you put like regular tap water, preferably, warm, because colder will take a bit longer, but warm water into a cup. We have you can buy iodine. Iodine looks like this. Okay, it's called betadine solution. Okay, it's iodine, and you buy the 10% povidone, okay, iodine solution. That's all you need. It's an oxidizer, right? And what we're saying is when you have a glass of water, do you guys want me to do the iodine test for you right now? Anyone? Should I do it live here for you so that, or you guys already, okay, okay. So here we have a glass of water, okay? It's water, okay? And so, what we're showing people is really quickly how powerful this product here is. What happens, of course, is when you start to drink or you smoke or you have pollution, 5G, Wi-Fi, stress, lack of sleep, pesticides, pollution, too much drinking, too much smoking. What happens to your blood is your blood starts to get dirty. Can you guys see that? Right? So your blood starts to get dirty. And obviously, this is to show oxidation. If the oxidizer, this happens, of course, to your body as well. But of course, Fountain of Life is an antioxidant, right? It's an antioxidant. And this is see what happens, okay, if we place just one drop, okay? I'm trying to stay out of the view, okay? Just one drop into this product, right? What happens is one drop, okay? There's one drop. Really quickly, it starts to lighten and it starts to clean, of course, essentially your blood. Okay. Now you start to get a bit younger. And if I add, again, we always talk about having like the 5 drops. If I add a few more drops here, okay, you can see what happens. Ah, look at that. Look at that, right? So what's happening here is that the antioxidants are neutralizing the oxidation that is happening. And that's how fast this product works. When you put it under your tongue, within seconds, it's in your bloodstream. And now again, now your blood is clean. And your blood, of course, is all over your body. All your organs need blood, right? And so this is the iodine test that we show. And a lot of people are just, so again, Henry's actually pouring the water in. He's going to grab that iodine right there. Yeah, so you can't really hear what he's saying, but that's what we do. And we're showing how when you have oxidation. Now, if you're wondering how this actually works, here's what happens. Iodine, okay, is this color, this dark purple color normally. When you add electrons to iodine, it becomes iodide. So IDE, iodide, and that's clear in color. So we want antioxidants because our bodies are full of these free radicals, and free radicals, if you know what happens now, it over a long period of time, it can damage your cells, the DNA, and the function, right, of the actual cell itself. So it can also lead to things like cancer, right? And that's how you start to have diseases. But that's why we take antioxidants are basically molecules full of electrons to give the electrons to the free radicals to neutralize the free radicals. So this demonstration is just showing how quick, right? How quick. And the cool thing is, even if I were to add now, because now there's FOL in here, right? If I were to add more, of the iodine, like more pollution and more thing, because look at that, because you still have the antioxidants in the water no longer actually, stays that color. Look at this. You see, those 5 drops is still helping you. It's still giving you that much more antioxidants. All right, so essentially, again, it's still going. It's still going. It's still again, it's so powerful, right? So that is the demonstration, of course, that we use. Did that help a little bit, everyone? Okay, that's the power. So again, um, believe it or not, all the meetings that I go to, I have this. Um, so if you ever have your empty bottle of FOL, here's a tip: don't throw it away. You can peel off the label if you want, and I actually pour this into a Fountain of Life bottle because it's kind of easier to drip out one by one. This one here gets really messy. As you can see, it gets really messy. You can see that. So I pour this into here. So I always have like 4 or 5 empty FOL bottles full of iodine. And so now it's portable, right? It's not messy. I do have a Ziploc bag that I put it in, but when I go to my meetings, all I need is a cup. And Henry's hilarious. He goes everywhere with a cup. Okay, so Henry, like, everywhere he goes, he has a cup with him, and he has, everywhere there's water, typically speaking, right? So, note here, iodine you can buy anywhere. You can buy iodine from Shopper Drug Mart, Longo's at the drugstore. Buy it on Amazon. Iodine, this is called Okay, I'm gonna type it. What you want to get is this betadine solution iodine, and it's 10% povidone iodine. Okay, yeah. Now, what you will find, I made sure, by the way, that I used just tap water because my water filter is, of course, it's not going to be as effective because, of course, with filtered water, it's much more cleaner in that sense. So, anyways, I hope that helps though. All right. And so so again, during the trade show, once you go over the brochure, can I give you this and you talk about the thing we talked about already, right? Is to show them a demonstration. If they haven't bought it yet, keep the conversation going. Let's talk about this, can I show you this really cool iodine test? It takes like 20 seconds, right? Boom. Um, And what's another thing that you can do, team, to keep the conversation going? What's another thing that you better do? I think there's a photo that might actually show this here. Okay. You can't see it, but What's the other thing that you guys just you have to do every time? I'm gonna give you a hint right now. Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint right now. Hmm. That was the hint. Mm. So demonstrating it. Excuse me. Oh yeah. So demonstrating it is one thing, right? Thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, is you want to offer a sample. So I usually after all that's done, they know it's natural. They might ask you, well, is it certified? Yeah, it's Health Canada NPN number three. It totally stays all natural. But I always ask this question, right? Would you like to try? Or here, let me give you a free sample. People love the word free and getting free samples, right? You know when you go to like, I don't know, like Costco and they have like free samples of like hot dogs or whatever, right? People love the free samples. So I asked a person, would you like a free sample? So here on the table, I have spoons. I have like a ton of spoons there. And all I do is I have them hold the spoon. I place 10 drops like this into their spoon. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to their spoon. And I tell them, okay, when you take it, leave it under the tongue for 5 seconds. It will absorb sublingually. If you have any kind of teeth or gum issues, you can swirl your gums in your teeth. If you have a sore throat, leave it in the throat area. You will never have a sore throat ever again. And of course, you can swallow the rest. Now, why do you think it's important to make sure that your people get a chance to taste the product? And by the way, I hope you're taking notes. Really important because all this stuff happens naturally in my mind. 'Cause I've been doing it for so long, right? But you should make sure you just go over these notes again, right? The one thing I always do when I offer someone the product is I beforehand I always give them a heads up. I said, by the way, if you yeah, thank you, John. Exactly. I say if your body is very acidic, then you will find this probably very bitter. But it actually is a good sign because it means that you need to take more of this product to again to balance your body's acidity. Otherwise, it should be a sweet taste to you. I always tell my people that before they take it. Because most people, for the first time, they will always find it bitter. And because I told them beforehand, if it's bitter, it means you're acidic. It actually means that you need to take more of this product. I'm actually selling it already. Like in their mind, they're visualizing themselves about to buy the product essentially. So after they try it, of course, typically by then, people, if they haven't already asked you about the price, now it's time to let them know about the price, right? Or you could even just ask them, by the so you can just say, well, again, depending on your conversation that you had with the person, it could have been, what, you mentioned that you want to have better hair growth, stronger hair, or you have high sugar. This product here will help you. We have a 90-day, satisfaction guarantee. I give people my own 90-day money back guarantee. Why? Because after the thousands of bottles I've ever sold, I only ever had to return one bottle, like giving back the cash. So, you know, like people once they use this product, they're gonna be sold on it, right? So I give a 90-day money back guarantee. But again, I never had to give the money back because no one has ever, except for one person in all these years, like and all the thousands of people I've sold this to, only one person ever actually, and that's because they had some kind of like a allergic reaction, whatever it was. And I found out later on that person was a really kind of fussy kind of person. Anyways, not important, right? Because in business, sometimes you have to invest money into things, right? So, anyways, by then, I would just tell them, you know what? Yeah, you should really get a few bottles. We even have a promotion today. And so if you have these events, please have yourself a promotion. So what we did is we know in Canada here online, the price is $85 plus tax, right? So what we said was, so that's almost $100. We said, well, today if you buy, it today, every bottle is only $80 cash all in. If you buy, two or more bottles or whatever it is, then you have even a better price. So, and you just keep going on. And essentially, when you when you have done everything that we've shown you, in some cases, you would have sold the bottle already. Like in some cases, I didn't even do the iodine test, let alone even offer a sample, and they already wanted to buy a bottle, which is fine. I will still give them the taste, and show them the test anyways. But at the very end, after you've done all that work, don't be afraid to ask for the sale. And the way that you ask for the sale, again, is just being very genuine because you know of their issue, right? Is just relate that back against, you know what? I really would suggest you just to grab a few bottles because it's really going to help you with whatever that you were, with your issue. And again, we have a promotion today, so take advantage of that. And once you do your pitch, right? Now you just need to sit or stand and wait. Just have a nice smile and have the product out in your hand, like in front of them, right? And just literally just wait till they react to you. Does that make sense? You don't need to keep, because you've done enough already, right? You don't want to spend all your time on just one person either. And by the way, this training is an hour long, but in reality, this whole process I just taught you just now, it only takes a few minutes. Probably, at most 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes per person. So then, again, you say, what, so again, why don't you grab a few bottles because it's really going to help you with your prostate peeing at nighttime. And again, we have a 90-day money back guarantee, and we have a promotion today. And then you wait for them to respond because you don't need to say anything else. Just wait. And some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. My point though is you've done your work. You asked for the close. Who knows? They might have more questions. They might say, well, let me think about it, right? Now, if someone says to you, let me think about it, this is where you say, no worries, absolutely go home, take some time, take like you want to join them, don't push them, right? Just let me know what, absolutely, go home, think it over, read over the information again. But by the way, can I just send you some more information and perhaps some of these testimonials? My point is, I want to grab their contact information to do the follow up later on. So if they tell you that for whatever reason, I want to go home and think about it, so you know what? Absolutely. Um, that makes total sense. Go home, take your time, and just read over the more information. But before you go, can I actually send you some of these testimonials and perhaps the e-version of this brochure? Because again, I'm often just sending them the studies and the testimonials because I want to get their contact information so I can follow up again later on. So I hope today's training served you guys really well. By the way, this happened at a trade show, but I do this all the time. The things I just taught you, I'll do it at a drive-through. I might not do the iodine test at a drive-through, but you get my point, right? I'm just sharing with you everything that I actually talk about. And so, and my goal, of course, is to get someone's contact so I can do a follow-up, or of course, you can actually literally start to sell bottles. Um, and so if Denya is on the call, oh, Denya's here, right? Denya, would you be able to maybe to unmute yourself and maybe share what was your experience, of course, being with us there at the trade show. And of course, Henry, if you're there as well too, feel free to raise your hand. Maybe you can share a few words from your experience. Of course, you do so many shows already as it is. But I just really want to teach all of you guys just what I do, because I have fun doing it and I do sell a lot of products too. So Henry is with us, Mr. Henry Shong. How are you, Henry? Good evening.
Good evening, Renee. Great
Hey,
training.
hey.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
It's
share with us
it's
a little
good.
bit.
Yeah. Well, the trade show is always the way to go, and if you want to make the business faster, because I was telling people that in the Chinese culture we have a saying that if you have a traditional business like a clinic or like a business, whatever you're doing, if you just wait there for people to come from your community or vicinity, you are like you are like waiting at a tree, waiting for the rabbit to run and bounce himself and drop dead or drop paralyzed in front of you, and you collect them. We have to be proactive. We have to go out and meet people and meet quality people. So that's why people, when they complain, I am not making money, but if you are sitting at home all the time, all year round, you don't really go out do anything, then you are not going to make money anyway, right? So we just have to find a way to meet new people, to talk to new people, and that's the almost the only way that you can grow better, faster, and uh, enjoy the rank advancement and all the bonuses and everything. Otherwise, you are going to be receiving some a little bit of residual income, but not going to be that big.
Yes. And I think it's fun when you go with people in your team together. Like, I had a lot of fun. I'm bouncing back and forth off of Henry and Daniel as well too, right? Yeah, one of the ladies came to me and she told me, it's like, can I bring you like I'm part of a group of 1,000 women who would love to get their hands on this stuff. And so, meeting someone like that, she wants to bring thousands of women who can benefit from this product. Like there you go, right? So, well, thank you so much, Henry. Thank you,
Thank
thank you.
you. Thank you, Renee.
Okay. So well, anyhow, I don't want to have the call. I should call back one of my prospects at 10 p.m. Ooh, we'll be a little bit late here, but yeah, I'll let, of course, our wonderful host Hervé take us home. And again, thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you guys have learned something this evening. And I'm not sure if I'll be doing the call next Tuesday or not. If not, me, you will have our wonderful CEO with a heart of gold, Remy Ms. Garlu, back doing the forensic calls. And again, Hervé, thank you as always, and back to you. Thank you so much, Hervé.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you again, Renee, for this great, great, great training. Thank you to Renee, to Henry. Thank you to our members all over the places. For some people, it's very late, but you're still here. Thank you very much for taking time to be on this call.
Wish everyone a fantastic evening, morning, afternoon. And of course, one team, one dream to the billion.